Welcome back to Your Greatness Magnified. This week we're going to talk about how to make sure you recognize and make visible those people who perhaps feel invisible. Because let's face it, in our organizations, whether you're volunteering or this is a for-profit organization, there's lots of people that do incredibly important work behind the scenes and often don't get the appreciation and they don't get the accolades. And yet, if it weren't for them doing what they do, we wouldn't be able to keep performing the way we're performing. In fact, this was brought home to me after a speech that I did where I chose to use an example of one of these departments, a department that really was feeling like they were undervalued and underappreciated. By simply giving them as an example, it helped to spotlight how important they are in the organization. But you may not be needing to do this through a speech or through a presentation or training or anything. It may just be, how can you do this at the front lines, particularly if that team is your team, that you're a peer or that you lead a team that often feels like you're behind the scenes and don't get the support. So what's the benefit of doing this is that you're going to have much better productivity, focus, and people who aren't just maybe showing up and getting the job done, but if they feel appreciated, there's a greater likelihood that folks are going to bring their best version of themselves, continuous improvement ideas, and energy that they wouldn't otherwise bring if they felt unappreciated. So how do you make people feel that appreciation? Number one thing is, if you aren't from that department, show up and appreciate people. Get to know what folks are doing. There's nothing that speaks more to you are important in this organization when you're from another department and you choose to come and walk a mile in their shoes. That's number one. Number two, write a card, write an acknowledgement, send an email and CC it to the whole team or to the supervisor of that department, something that made your life better. A gesture, a call, some help, whether it's part of their day-to-day work or it's somebody going above and beyond, find a way of expressing that appreciation. Third is doing a big blast to the whole team. And that is to say exactly what it is that you know that they do every day to make your job better and your job easier. If you speak on behalf of the whole team, maybe you have them just write down specifically who it is that you're representing so that they know it's not just Genevieve being nice, that this is on behalf of the entire team. Number four, celebrate milestones. Almost every professional group or alliance has a week or a day in the calendar year that is their day. So if you're celebrating Nurses Weeks in May, if you're celebrating administrative assistants, they're in April. Make it up. I mean, there's, goodness knows, if there's Talk Like a Pirate Day, there's got to be a week that celebrates this particular group. And you know what? If they make your life better and there's National Humor Day, decide that you're dedicating National Humor Day to them. Find a way to celebrate an important milestone. A milestone could also be something very unique to them. It could be a milestone date of when they started a new project, of when they came together as a team. So what can you do to make sure that it's really specific to them? And they'll be surprised because they probably didn't expect that you would be paying attention to that milestone. The fifth thing is invite them to your celebrations. Bring them into your world. So if you're the nurse and it's Nurses Week and they're not nurses, have them come to your Nursing Week celebration. If you're celebrating a milestone, so just recently I was working in an organization, they're launching this massive transformational project. They decided to invite their vendors to celebrate right along with them. Those vendors, they're not used to being invited because they get paid for their services. They usually just get appreciated by getting paid. Well, we all know money isn't always honey. And sure, you need to pay the bills, but that's not where the heart comes from. When I spoke with those folks ahead of time, believe me, they told me this is what it's like working with this team all the time. They have heart, they care about working collaboratively, they really treat us as equals. I love working with this group. So, demonstrate that by inviting the people that you want to celebrate into your celebrations. Of course, very simply, you could thank people, smile, find ways to connect with them on a human level. I mean, it's so small that it seems like, why would you even add that as a point? And yet we often don't do it. And then finally, here's my seventh suggestion. Tell a story about why they matter. Maybe submit it to your organizational newsletter. You could, if again, for one of those milestone weeks, you can choose to submit it to their association. Why do they matter to you? And tell a very specific story. Whether it's about the whole department or just one rock star in it, people will see and feel that sense of connection to you because you have taken the time. And it may only take you 5 minutes, but still you've taken the time to share a very specific personalized story about why they matter. I hope that these are some examples that help you to not only get motivated to celebrate those people that matter most that are often invisible, but also give you some really concrete tools of what's going to work in your work or volunteer context. My name's Sarah McVanel. Be well and be great.